All right, guys. I already know y'all know I'm going to be negative about the Gators, even though I love my Gators. Um, I started out watching this game and could see pretty quickly it was going to be a shootout. If y'all watched my video, y'all saw I predicted LSU to win. I knew it was going to come down to the end like it did. One score, well, 45-35, so 10 points, a little bit outside my prediction. I was thinking 7 points or less, but whatever. Um, you know, LSU makes our defense look like we play high school ball. We run a high school offense. Billy Napier offense might be worse than Jim McElwain's. Um, I haven't found anything watching this game. Sorry, I had to pause that real quick. But yeah, I mean, I'm just not in a good mood. This game really, and you guys, I mean, there's a few of y'all out there. Y'all kind of rip me and bash me. But man, if you listen to Stadium and Gale, Gator Dave, if you listen to anybody else that's got 10,000 followers and lots of views, they're saying the same exact stuff I'm saying, y'all. I'm not saying something that is unrealistic. I'm calling it. I'm calling it like I see it. I'm telling y'all the truth. If you're a Gator that just, you want to sugarcoat everything and you don't want to see reality, I'm sorry. A couple of you guys out there that were all our defensive backs haven't played bad. They're not the problem. Dude, we have no defensive backs. They have regressed. I would have agreed with y'all game one, two, that they had played some ball and just got beat on some one on ones, but they have literally regressed. Our secondary has gone backwards and somehow gotten worse. Defensive line was getting pressure in this game, but couldn't keep contained. I knew Daniel's feet was going to be a problem. We cannot stop a running quarterback to save our life. It's been the same way under Todd Grantham. Same thing with this defense. Our scheme is putrid. We can't cover anybody. We cannot get off the field. We had one, I think we got off the field once on third down, and that's only because LSU dropped the ball. They hit him right in the hands and he just dropped it. Nothing our defense did got us off the field at the end of the game there. That was pure luck. Um, I'm starting to call this defense third and Toney, just like Grantham. And if y'all want the God's honest truth, this defense is actually worse than last year's defense under Todd Grantham, and you can look up the stats to back that up. Patrick Toney is in over his head. He is not the answer at Florida. I'm actually okay with Billy and the future of the program with recruiting, and we'll get to something about that in a second, guys, because this could really start to snowball if he doesn't get some momentum back on Florida's side and win the games we're supposed to win. I mean, Brian Kelly's in his first year too, guys. I mean, he's in a rebuild too. They turned over a ton of that roster. They're patchwork transfers all over the field. Same thing, Lincoln Riley at USC. That program has been in shambles. They've had recruiting restrictions, all this stuff, sanctions in the past, and he gets there and year one goes undefeated till last night. He finally gets beat by Utah. But a lot of first year coaches can have success at a program. And I'm not saying they all do. Alabama, Kirby Smart did, and they went 7-5, but they looked good even going 7-5. They had some good wins. They were progressing. They were recruiting top three classes, guys, top five. We're not there. We're not recruiting like that. Yes, I love the recruiting. It is going well. We are top eight right now. We lost a kid. We might have dropped to ninth or 10th, but we're a top 10 class. That will help us get better. We will improve just purely on talent alone. But I hate to break it to y'all. If we're not recruiting inside the top five, we're not beating Georgia. We're not winning an SEC championship. Yeah, it'd be great. We'll go to New Year's Six and win 10 or 11 games. But I mean, for a lot of people, that's acceptable. For me, I want to see Florida win national titles like it did under Urban Meyer, and I'll agree with y'all. That is unrealistic expectations for Florida now. Florida is not a blue blood school like they used to be. We are not a national title contender, and we may not be for a very long time. Billy may get us there through the years if he can build on this bump class that he has that I'm super stoked about. Like I said, there's not a lot of difference between this class and the top three. If he can build on this class, continue doing what he's doing, the talent will be there. My worry is the coaching. You know, he needs to hire an offensive coordinator. Kirby Smart has an offensive coordinator. He had Todd Monk. He kind of copied what LSU did with Joe Burrow, and that's what led to a lot of Georgia's success. This 3 yards in a cloud of dust, guys, this ain't 1950. This doesn't work. This offense is just boring. It's unimaginative. Even the trick plays don't work. No one had anybody fooled that where Anthony threw it out of bounds when he tossed it to Montreal. Montreal, that was the worst pass I've ever seen. My flag football team can throw a better double pass than that. That was terrible. Um, so that was just a terrible play design. It didn't look good. Even Dan Mullen ran trick plays with a high success rate. That was just stupid. Um, it's sad that that was like the most creative play that I saw last night was just trying to run something like that. Still running those plays to Henderson, and they actually popped for about 10 yards apiece last night. That's the first time that's worked all year, but you're still going back to something that has not worked, and it wasn't explosive. He still looks super slow and lanky. It takes him so long just to get his stride or get any kind of speed up. Trent Whitmore's little brother, a 4-star, who is having a heck of a senior year in high school, tearing it up, which would have been a hell of a baller in the slot. Wide receiver, which we need desperately. Guess what? He decommitted because his brother's not playing at Florida, and he's been a good player for Florida. Made some nice grabs this year, and he's better than some of the guys that are on the field. I think he's better than Henderson. And he's not getting any reps. So Creed and his family weren't happy, and they decided he's going to decommit. And Trent's probably going to transfer. So, which isn't going to hurt the Gators. It's not going to hurt the Gators. I don't think that's a big loss at all. But the fact that he's not playing is a joke. You got a guy that's a defensive end converted to a tight end, Dante Xander's on the field. Stop running so much 12 and 13 personnel. Let's go four wide like we did under Dan Mullen, spread it out, and this offense would hum. I guarantee it, y'all. Anthony Richardson looks like a square peg in a round hole. He does not look comfortable back there running with his back to the defense. His play action bootleg, him swirling out, taking all this time to read the field. It's a joke. I'm not happy at all with the direction of the actual schematics on the field, and I don't see how y'all can be either. There is no progress. We have regressed from game one to this game. On defense, it's gotten worse and worse and worse. They look like they came from a smaller school. They look like they came from Louisiana. Um, it's going to take time. Let's hope that Billy is mature enough and wise enough and a CEO type enough to make the hard decisions when it comes time to, and again, I'm not saying fire these guys, okay? Nobody needs to be fired yet. Year two, if we see the same things we're seeing right now and not a big step forward, he's got to think about, I got to fire my buddy Toney, or I'm going to have to make decisions here. If we can see him make those type of decisions, I have full faith in Billy Napier. He needs to make changes after this season if things continue to get worse. And I don't mean like full on. Yeah, I just say he might need to sit down with Toney and say, hey, we're changing this defense. We're going to adjust this. You're going to do this to get third downs fixed. Blah blah blah. But there needs to be substantial changes made. Even at this point on the bye week, if we don't see big time personnel changes, schematic changes after this 2 weeks off against Georgia, y'all really, that's a red flag. I'm just going to say that. Y'all should be concerned. That's a red flag. Dan Mullen used to make great adjustments, and I'm glad Dan Mullen's gone. Again, I want to repeat that. I like Billy Napier, love the hire for now. But Dan Mullen had that wheel route just working Georgia's defense, the game that we won with less talent. So that's where coaching gets you. Talent can get you further, but you got to be able to coach a little bit. And our wide receiver routes, there's no mesh routes. There's no rubs. There's no combo routes. It's just straight basic high school routes, guys. It is a simple, simple offense. He is a genius in the run game. It's very complex. A very good zone scheme. He hides stuff well, motioning guys in and out with Persall and Hendo. So I like that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, like I said, those examples of Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly, again, and there's the opposite. But we're not there where they were at with the recruiting. We're getting there. It is getting better. This class is an elite class, in my opinion. It'll finish that way. But that's only if we can show it on the field, too. I mean, showing it on the field doesn't equal recruits, but it can lose you recruits. I can promise you that. We've all seen it. We've seen it with McElwain. We've seen it with all the coaches that struggled. Dan Mullen. Offensive line looked great. Run game was pretty good in this game. ETN did struggle. Did have a touchdown, but again, Lingard got one rep. These are some of the positives. We did see Lingard on the field. Zero Naquan Wright in this game, which was a big step forward to me. I do think Lingard still needs more carries. He could grab the ball one time, ripped off 7 yards. Why doesn't he get another carry after that? I mean, that's questionable to me. What do you have like so against this kid that he can't see the field over a guy who is averaging 3 yards a carry? I mean, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so run game was good, but just a one-dimensional offense. Again, I know y'all saw it. They started to shut us down in the second half because that's all we could do is run the ball. We can't throw it. We can't hit the broadside of a barn. Defense can't get off the field. Third and Toney's a thing now. AR, the throw to Xanders in the end zone was just a bullet and behind him and low, wobbly pass. He's just super inaccurate. Throws a beamer every time he throws the ball. Just I'll get to that in a minute, but just terrible. I think he's a below average quarterback. I mean, honestly, he's comparable to Felipe Franks, in my opinion. He's a better runner. We all know that. He's an elite runner. But, guys, he doesn't even use it. Look at the one play where he burst out for 81 yards and a touchdown. If he had run that, committed to the run and run the ball like he did on that play more in this game, you're probably talking about a win, maybe even a different outcome. Every run that he took off during the game, he ducked, dived, dodged, and got to the ground as fast as he could without it gave up on extra yardage. There was 3 or 4 yards there extra to be had each time, but he gave up. Just playing scared and playing not to get hurt. And Tim Tebow would have never done that. And the guy last night was playing like a Tim Tebow with his passion after he scored. But man, you can't be playing. You're not going to the NFL, bro. Quit playing like you're trying to get, not to get hurt every time. I'd rather him play his heart out. And if he gets injured, so be it. We'll all understand that we lost because he got hurt. We want you to lay it out on the field, bro. Be a Gator and give it your all. Don't play like that. Play like he did on the 81-yard run. That was beautiful. That was impressive. I mean, the kid's a freak athlete playing quarterback. He's not a good quarterback, and at least he's not a good quarterback in this offense. I believe if Dan Mullen was here and he had played with Anthony Richardson, I think AR would be talked about closer to where he was before the season. More, I don't think he'd be in the Heisman hunt, but I think he'd be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC under a different offense. And not even just Dan Mullen, guys. I know y'all hate him and you're going to get pissed I said that, but anybody, okay? I mean, Brian Kelly, if he was coaching AR in that offense that Jaden Daniels was running last night, would have put up close to the same numbers that Jaden Daniels put up, in my opinion. Um, so again, just he's a good runner. He's an elite runner, just not a good passer. Couldn't even get over 200 yards last night. Jaden Daniels starts 5 of 5 for 99 yards on the first drive of the game. I mean, that's just unbelievable. How can you let somebody go 5 of 5, bro? I mean, it's just pathetic. AR played good enough to win. I did write that down. I thought he did. He did play good enough for us to win this game. We didn't lose this game necessarily because of the offense. The offense was in a shootout. They put up some points, but a lot of them were just lucky plays made by AR, that 81-yard touchdown, the run game, the scripted plays. But yeah, so if the defense had any pulse, 3 stops, 3 legit punts where we turned them into points, and we had 1 stop because of a wide receiver drop. 3 good stops, and we would have won this game. That's literally how little we needed out of our defense, and they could not do it for us. Just pathetic. Could not do it. Half. Let's see. At the first half, guys, LSU 306 yards. Okay, in the first half, 252 pass yards on our so-called DBU. We can hang that up. That's out the window. Our DBs suck, and y'all bash me for it, but they do. They're not good. Jason Marshall, 5-star prospect, basically has completely regressed under Toney, and it's so disappointing because I think the kid's much more talented than what he's put on the field this year. Heck, he was better last year as a freshman than he is this year. And I don't. What is the excuse for that, y'all? A kid who played major snaps last year, across from Kyer Elam, is playing worse ball. Trevez, same people on the field. Trey Dean, the only reason Trey Dean came off the field is because he got hurt. Okay, so how do y'all feel about that? Why was Kamari Wilson not starting and playing this entire game? Why are these guys that are seniors still on the field playing putrid defense? Let the youth movement take over. If we lose, we lose. At least we can all see that, and we know the direction you're going, and we know what Billy's trying to do. Stop playing these guys that are not benefiting the team in any kind of way whatsoever. They're not even leaders on this team. If we had leaders on the team like Ventrell Miller, he was on the sideline trying to get these guys fired up to get us back in the game, and no one responded. No one responded. So just a lack of will on this team, no effort. Um, Florida 171 total yards in the first half, which is not bad. It's not terrible. First 72 passing yards, guys. That's how putrid our passing offense. 72 passing yards in the first half. Like I said, high school offense. Punt gets muffed. Get turnovers in this game. We still can't win the game. Even with them gifting us stuff, we could not beat LSU. 23 yards was the average distance on third down for LSU. That is just putrid. This has to be one. So yeah, third down was bad. First half, 3 plays. It took them 3 plays to score after halftime. So good old halftime adjustments, man. That really worked out well, didn't it? Scores, the defense regressing, like I said. We should be seeing progress in a first year staff. You should be seeing progress. This D is definitely worse than Grantham's, in my opinion, and worse than last year's defense. And that's not even an opinion, guys. Look up the stats. Um, you know, don't come in here and bash me and leave a bunch of comments, blah, blah. Go look up the stats for yourself. AR had used his legs more. We win. I believe that. Slides and gets down, not to get hurt. Roughing the passer call was a joke. We all know that. You're falling down, your momentum. What are you supposed to do? Somehow levitate yourself back off of the quarterback's body? Football's so soft now. It's not a man's game anymore. It's a boy's game. They're flag happy on this stuff, and I'm just so sick of it. Just let the guys play football, and somebody needs to step in and do so. We need to look more at the treatment and medical part side of this, and not the taking away the plays on the field and changing the outcome of games. That definitely affected the outcome of this game a little bit. It's not the reason we lost, but it did affect the outcome. Like I said, LSU total yards, 528 total yards in this game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you're going to see why in just a minute. Gators, 395 total yards on this LSU defense, who got thrashed by Tennessee. Um, I'm sorry, you can't get over 400 yards of total offense on this LSU defense, who's not been that great. They've been decent. They haven't been terrible, actually. I'll take that back. They've been pretty good this year. But yeah, 395 total yards. I would have liked to have seen that over 400 again. Wasn't super impressive. LSU had 349 passing yards on our defense. That again, really disappointing. We had 185 passing yards, which again, less than 200 yards passing in a game on an LSU defense that's gotten thrashed in the passing game. So again, you know, just super disappointing. I mean, I don't see any progress out of AR. I don't see him getting better week to week. I'll point out one positive. He had no turnovers in this game, 0 turnovers. Tried to do it. He tried to give it away at the end of the game there, and I'm sure he'll have another pick in every game the rest of this year. It seems like. But yeah, he did try to throw an interception there towards the end of the game. We had 210 rush yards, which again, like I said, running offense was cruising in this game. I thought the running offense was definitely a B plus, and we continue to excel in the run game. So maybe he could find some kind of passing game coordinator to come in and supplement his run game. I think this offense could be lethal and explosive at that point. We were 0 for 3 on fourth down. We've gambled on fourth down all year. Couldn't get the job done this year. LSU was 2 for 2 on fourth down. That's a big difference in the game. They averaged 7.5 yards per play. We averaged 6.7, which is still pretty healthy. So again, just explosive. LSU looked like a juggernaut on offense because we're so bad of a team and so bad on defense. Butte, let's bring him up. Hasn't done anything all year. Literally, I think he scored his first touchdown in this game of the season. We made him look like Odell Beckham Jr. in this game. He had over 100 yards receiving on Florida's defense. So this is how I want to end the video, just so y'all can see a bigger picture here. Zoom out for a second. All right, and again, I want the Gators to be successful. I want us to win national titles. I still believe in Billy. Not calling for nobody to get fired. Trusting the process. I will always do that in year one. I will not do it in year two. I will make no excuses for anybody in year two. With the transfer portal and the way college football is set up, it is not 5 years to rebuild a program. It is year 2, 3, 4, boom, boom, boom. You should start seeing rapid improvement and progress, increase in wins each season. bowl games, and competing for a conference title. That's what we're looking for at this school, and we need to find a coach until we get there. But LSU puts up 45 points on the Florida Gators, guys. 13 points on Tennessee's defense, who we put up 33 on. All right. They put up 21 points on Auburn, and we all know how bad Auburn is this year. They have a dead man walking at coach, at their head coach position, guys, and they put 21 up on Auburn. They put up 38 points on New Mexico. Okay, so we're worse defense than New Mexico. 38 points on New Mexico, and they put up 45 on Florida's defense. 31 points on Mississippi State's defense. And you can't tell me we're not talented. There's four-star guys all over the field. 31 points, 45 on us. 65 points on Southern. I don't even know who Southern is. They almost matched that on our defense. They only put up 23 points on FSU's defense and 45 on us. So, again, I'm going to end it on this too, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the rest of the year. I'm not even going to bother with the Georgia games, the automatic L. We're losing the Georgia game, period. You guys that get on here and, super positive. I love your passion. I love your enthusiasm. And I love how much you love your Gators as much as I do, but I just see things through a different lens. I'm not going to have false hope. Um, I'm just not going to, because I'll be let down and disappointed like I am right now, and I'll be in the same kind of mood. But the only wins I see this year, the rest of the season, if I'm being completely honest, is South Carolina and Vanderbilt. That's it. So you're looking at a 6-6 year. If we're lucky, maybe we win a bowl game somehow. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Not in a good mood. That game really left a bad taste in my mouth, seeing what we put on the field. I hope y'all feel the same way. If you don't, then you lack a little bit of passion for Gator football, and just because, man, I don't know. I hope I see some improvement. I hope I'm wrong, and continue to bring y'all content and stats on the games and my take on everything. Again, hope everybody doesn't hate me just because I come out with the mood I'm in, but I made the channel as a fan to react as a fan, but call it like I see it at the same time. So please like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you watching my content as always. Enjoy doing these. Everybody have a good weekend. Be safe out there. Go Gators.